Siema, zapraszam do oglądania kolejnego odcinka na moim kanale. Mam nadzieję, że będzie wam się podobać.
I hope I can be of...
What can you tell me about the...
Well, there's Mikesh. He's honest enough. And then there's Master...
Do you work any copper here, Master Blacksmith?
Why'd you ask?
I'd want to commission...
Then you best go elsewhere.
Aha. So back to that...
What?
Aha.
Take care now.
Jesus Christ be... Good luck to you.
Copper. And quite a lot of it. I wonder what Zach will have to say about... So back to that copper, Matt.
What?
I see. Then it's a little odd that you have baskets full of raw copper.
You've been in my barn? Best...
Your workshop's supplying a counterfeiting gang. I'm not going anywhere until you tell me the truth.
All right. I suppose there's no point lying. We do make...
Why?
Pays me good money. And the people I do it for.
Did they threaten you?
They didn't have to. Just by the look...
And did they ever tell you who they were?
I know a little. I'd show some understanding. There's nothing but...
If you lie down...
There's no need for threats. If I tell you everything I know, you can help me with a certain small matter.
So what are we talking about?
I recently tried to buy Master Armourer Otto Rabstein's business for my son, but that old fool wouldn't listen to reason. He said he couldn't understand his legacy being taken over by a clod like my Vitus. Despite the
And what is it you need from me?
I thought I'd show Otto that Vitus isn't such a dolt as he thinks. But for that I need someone...
Well, that doesn't sound so bad. What's your plan?
Otto's busy making a very pretty suit of armor for the bailiff. So I was thinking, if we could show that pretty armor of his...
And how am I supposed to see to that?
Well, I'd reckon we'd arrange a duel of champions with bludgeons. You'll put on Vitus's armor, and Otto will send his champion in that...
And what do I get out of it?
What we already agreed. I'll give up dealing in copper, and I'll tell you...
Do you really think that will work?
Otto's always mouthing off in the air, and Vitus will reap the...
How...
Jesus Christ. Although, if Otto doesn't agree to...
Exactly.
You're right. Do whatever you think.
Of course.
Take care now.
I'm at your service.
Master Armourer, I have a...
If it's another one of his so-called generous offers, you can go straight back.
No, this is another matter. Vitus...
What? Me fight with that brat?
That's not how it will be. The real duel will be between your pieces of handiwork.
How's that?
It will be a duel with bludgeons. No bloodshed. At most, a few bruises and some dents in the armor. Zach chose me to wear Vitus armor.
And so I'm to choose a champion of my own? That sounds reasonable.
Good. So let's agree on the time and place.
Hold your horses, young fella. I've got a counter.
Maybe I'm just doing it out of...
Aye, a regular good Samaritan. I could pay you more. And I'd tailor-make it.
You mean if I fight as you're a champion instead?
No, you fight on Zach's side and lose.
That's not very honourable.
And Zack's constant slander and mudslinging are the height of honour, are they?
Well, it's true Zack hasn't behaved like an honourable...
See? So,
Nah, forget it.
suit your...
So, choose the time and place.
What?
You're the one being challenged.
Well, it's all the same to me. Go and sort it out with the bailiff. He should know.
All right?
Goodbye.
My respects to you.
I'm here on behalf of blacksmith...
Zack? What does that matter? Don't tell me. It's another complaint about them. Well, you can tell Zack if you waste another minute of my time with that pathetic feud of it.
No, it's not a complaint this time. In fact...
Is that so? Well, that's a different kettle of fish. That's...
a duel.
Jesus Christ!
Now, don't worry, Goodman Bailiff. No one will get killed. Zack chose me as his champion. I'll be wearing a suit of armour made by his son, Vitus, and I'll fight Otter's champion.
That sounds like a fine spectacle for the village green. Naturally, I'll have to be present to ensure nothing...
Your presence is certainly expected, Bailiff.
Very well. We'll have it on the marketplace in the front of the church. But when?
That's up to you.
We can announce it right now.
Let's do it.
I'll have it announced around town. You come along at just the right time. It'll be a fine show for the... Farewell. Our township has long been plagued by a protracted dispute. As you are no doubt aware, Zack, the blacksmith of the monastery courtyard, and Master Armourer Otto Rabstein have been, for some time, at odds. And in so much as it behoves my office as bailiff to settle such disputes and maintain peace and order, I have decided to resolve the blacksmith's quarrel by unconventional means, whilst affording an entertaining spectacle. In short, we shall let them knock each other's teeth out. However, since it ill befits two respectable tradesmen to maul each other on the market square like a pair of cocks on a dung heap, each of them has elected a champion. Zack, the blacksmith, has appointed to fight in his stead Henry of Scarlet.
Au, au, au.
And Master Otto Rabstein's champion. Please, introduce yourself, Sir Knight.
Master Otter will fight for Master Otter. I don't need some young pup to take my place.
I remind you that this will be a duel with bludgeons alone, and until first blood is shed. Come, folks, be sensible for heaven's sake. We don't want any maiming here, or murder. So, if both contestants are ready, let us begin.
Chwilać. Jak do pierwszego? To już, no.
You going to cry? God!
Pink.
You kicked that old bastard's arse, Henry. His ears will be ringing for a month. We'll see who knows how to make armor and who's all hot air.
What, again? How many times is that this month?
You shouldn't speak.
No need to get
Where
worked
did
up
it
about
happen
it.
this time?
You've got to... Anyway, come by the forge later for... All right?
Dobra, po pojedynku.
I'll come for my reward.
Of course. And thanks again, lad. It's worked wonders.
And will Otter sell you his business?
I don't know. But the way things are looking now, his trade will soon be dead as a doornail anyway.
I'm glad your trade is going well.
Ah, that little matter.
So, out with it. How was it all?
One evening I got a visit from this scruffy beggar calling himself Rapota. He had a yellow cape on and kept whistling. There was a knight with him too, but he didn't give his name. They told me what I had to do.
And where can I find this?
I don't know exactly. But I've always left the wagon with the goods behind the monastery, on the hill there, next to a small...
Anything else?
No.
Well, that'll do me for now.
Take care.
Nie da zabrać to mi.
Why are you waking me? Come away.
Why are you just sitting around?
Why not? Admiring the people just do not appreciate.
Does the name Rapper?
Rapporter, you say?
Admire. Fuck you. Ignorance is.
Wise words. Really?
Greetings. What...
You look different, Master.
So as to fit in? I don't want it known that I'm in town.
Right.
So what have you found out so far?
Nothing much.
Well, hurry up, Henry. Just...
You look different.
So I...
Right. I found out where.
Really?
It's the smith on the monastery craftsman's yard.
Do you know how he gets the goods to them?
No. All I know is that someone called Rapporteur.
Not much, but it's a start. At least it's not a Listen, Henry. I had another thought on the way here. Those counterfeiters have to have a punch die to make the fake coins.
Yes, of course.
That's sophisticated work. And there's a man I know who works at the monastery yard.
You don't suppose that he's...
No, not that, God forbid. I know him well. He'd never do anything like that. But he runs an engraving...
Very well, I'll ask him.
But ask with tact. I don't want him getting offended.
I'll try to think of something. That's all.
God be with you.
Wydaje mi się...
goes the work, Master?
Getting there, getting there.
What are you doing here?
You're in an engraver's shop, my boy.
Yeah, but engraving what? And what's...
Oh, we engrave wood and stone as well as metal. Here in the monastery...
You've got quite a large workshop, Master. You don't do all...
I'm usually here with my apprentice Florian. Of course, by simple observation, you'll note that this is not currently the case.
I see. I think. So what's happened to...
He shares the fate of the pharaohs for today. The fifth scourge of Egypt did smite him, the plague.
Jesus Christ, the plague?
Do remain calm. I'm quite certain the plague from which Florian is suffering wasn't a judgment from on high.
What's he like, your apprentice, Florian?
I'm afraid that his exuberant youth has...
I don't really know what you mean.
Recently, for example, he told me that someone was following him. And the very next day, he bought a padlock from the blacksmith and locked up his chest. In any case, why the interest? Are you looking for him?
Something like that.
May I ask why?
I have a message for him.
A message? Who would be interested in that wastrel? Other than his... About your question, you'll find him at...
Ah, thank you. Does Florian have a...
A man such as he certainly owes money at every...
A woman from the baths?
The harpy nearly tore all Florian's hair out. I don't...
Do you have any idea why she...
She was screaming about some girl.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Hello there.
God save.
I hear you're at odds.
At odds? I'll give you at odds. It's that sod's fault they took my Esther.
What exactly happened?
This man came in wanting a bath, and Esther with it. She doesn't normally offer that kind of service, and suddenly I hear screams. So I run out, and I see the bastard pulling her out of...
I'm sorry they took her, but what exactly has it got to do?
They shouted at me to tell Florian that when he rises up, he'll get...
I assume that
You know village girls. They don't get much of a choice. Every other knave has a turnip for a brain. And if they don't, and then some young dandy turns up who writes her little poems. What's the poor girl?
Where can I find this Florian?
He works in the engraver's workshop.
What did the bailiff make?
Don't even get me started on that. He's a fine...
How's that then?
He wouldn't tell me to my face, of course. But people here don't think much of us. There's some...
It sounds like you were close to Esther.
I loved her like my very own. She came to me as an orphan, like a wolf child she was. I raised her and... God be with you.
Czyli ogólnie internet totalny. Lirik. Zapraszam.
I am honored that a knight...
You look quite sprightly for an invalid.
What? Who the hell are you?
My name's Henry, and I'm making inquiry.
And what do you want from me?
Straight to the point then. All right. I've been investigating counterfeit money, and the trail led me straight to you.
I don't know.
Don't bother. I know you know him. You make the punch dies for the counterfeiters. How...
I can't say anything. I'll deny everything and you've got nothing on me. No evidence.
It's got something to do with that girl, hasn't it?
How do you know?
That doesn't matter.
No, I suppose not. Those bastards kidnapped Esther. If I don't
Who is Esther?
My girl, of course. That's...
I'm sorry about that.
Me too. Listen, I'll tell you everything. I promise.
What, so I'm to go searching for her and...
I know where they're keeping her, but nobody will help me.
Look, Florian,
servant, I'm sorry.
If Rapiter finds I've told you anything, that...
Not if I catch Rapiter first. He's here in town.
Yes, he is. They found me in the tavern one evening. Caught me when I went to the ship pile. They started to
They?
Yes, Rapiter. And a night they...
And then what?
They explained what they wanted from me, and I told them to...
I'm guessing that didn't go down too well.
It wasn't all that bad. They just threw me on the dung heap and left. I thought it was just a drunkard's...
Where will I...
He's usually wherever I...
What does that mean?
He watches me. Everywhere I go. And when I'm at home, he sits on the bench in the square, watching my house.
So he's there now?
Hard to say. Sometimes I see him in the tavern on the green.
All right. At least I know where to start. And you...
Why?
Because we have to lure him out. And besides...
I have my doubts.
How did you hand over the punch die to them?
Rapiter waited for me behind the church. I didn't want to give...
And did they let you?
Yes, although I don't really know why. They took me to a derelict farm in the Skalitz Hills.
So at least you know she's alive.
Who knows? It was a while ago. And they never...
More punch dies?
They wear out over time. And they have to be replaced regularly.
Why didn't you tell anyone?
At first, I took it for a bad joke. And then...
I suppose I'd better...
Go. Good luck, then.
Wyglądasz sobie pod...
Are you Rapiter by...
Pardon me?
No, but I'm hoping to change that. It'll only take a moment. I know you're buying... None. Now tell me...
Of course. That...
So?
Let's leave it for another time.
No.
No, I give up.
So, are you ready to talk?
I will. Just what do you want from me?
Tell me where the workshop is. Don't worry. Your master won't be punishing you for betraying him. That doesn't narrow it down very much.
On the eastern side of Skalitz Hill, there's an abandoned mine gallery. Well, it used to be abandoned. Now there's a small camp.
Who is your lord?
Sir Jezek of Ronov. That's what he calls himself, although Ronov Castle's...
What happened to it? Why?
But Vincent had descendants. Ronov only fell to the Margrave, all because Vincent had refused to fight for him against Sir Proc. Sir Jezek led a revolt of the vassals.
Who are you, anyway?
They call me Rapota. I used to be the executioner's henchman in Brno.
And how did you come to be serving so...
I helped him escape from prison. If I was going to serve anyone...
So you saw being a brigand's henchman as a step up?
I thought if things changed and he stopped marauding, he might get Ronov back and take me into his...
Well, after this little escapade, you can forget.
It's all the same...
So who's Sir Jezek working for? Don't tell me he just took it into it.
That's not for me to know. Terms with various soldiers.
Such as?
We were often guests at the monastery, but I slept in the hayloft, so I...
And apart from that?
In the camp, you'd occasionally see a Hungarian nobleman.
I think I've heard it.
Can I ask you?
Yes?
I don't want to hang. It's a horrible death. I prefer...
Ah, you're not worth tainting my sword with your blood. Now get lost before I change... I finally found out where the forger's workshop. Master Fayfar was right. The forgers are sticking close to the supply source. The entrance is on the eastern side of the hill.
I will be glad to give it.
To napierdzielamy.
want here? I don't know you.
I'm here at the command of the royal hetman, Sir Radzik Kabila.
Radzik Kabila, the king's hetman. I see.
I'm here to place you under arrest.
I gathered as much. And you came alone. Ha! Very daring of you, I must say.
I'll manage. Sometimes it...
So, I'm a king now? By the way, who betrayed...
That hardly matters, does it?
Do you think I won't get a chance to settle up with them? But I hope you don't imagine I'm just going...
And where would you want to go?
Anywhere. Anywhere else is...
Really? You can't go to Moravia. The Margrave himself is after you there. And in Bohemia, the kings may change, but the...
What do you mean?
Whoever gets to be king, they can't afford to have someone forging.
Do you think I'm doing this on my own?
No, but when the kingdom's back in order, and it'll be time to shut this little up...
It doesn't matter. Kabila will string me up from...
Maybe, but you'll...
A deal with Sir Radzik. It's true they say he's a canny man.
If you cooperate, you stand a chance.
Oh, very well then. May as well climb...
So let's go. Master Fayfar will be itching to ask.
What should I do?
You should get some rest and go to Rate. In the meantime, Sir Radzik will have this wretch questioned. Maybe he'll get something useful out of him.
All right. I'll see you in Ratai then.
There's the man. Good work, Henry.
Thank you, sir.
I tell you to take a well-earned rest, but unfortunately I need one more thing.
Whatever you command.
Jezek refuses to talk to us. The stubborn bastard's asking to see you.
Me?
Indeed. Normally I'd send for Captain Burner to beat it out of him.
I'll try to get something out of him. Where is he?
He's locked up in the tower. Bernard will...
Very well, sir. I need the key to Jezek's sap.
So, Sir Radzik let him have his way in the end.
Don't take it that way. He probably wants to talk to me because he reckons he can hoodwink me.
Just try not to mess it up.
Thanks.
Hey, Henry, come to see us. Well,
talk to me, of all people.
Co chciałeś?
Radzik will keep me alive only as long as it takes to get everything I know out of me. You, on the other. So I want to be sure that the secrets my life depends on...
I didn't promise you anything.
Very well, ask me anything you want. I won't be obstructive.
What I want to know most of all is who's behind it. Who were you making those forgeries for?
Do you think I couldn't have handled it all myself?
I'm not trying to insult you. I could do alone.
All right, the way it began was I was short of coin, as usual.
Recruit you into what?
I didn't inquire too much. In this business, you don't ask too many questions. But when they found out I wasn't just anybody, they put me in charge of a foreigner by the name of Eric gave me instructions. But for sure, he isn't the chief. And there's some...
How did you come to hear of all?
I met some old friends in Colleen a few months ago, and they said they were heading for Sass...
Old friends? Who were they?
Just a couple of brigands.
Nice friends you keep.
I was in dispute with the Margrave. A man...
And then what?
Rapota and I had been living off stale. We rode to Sasau and met with the recruiters. It didn't take long.
Can you get to the point?
Well, they introduced me to this Eric, and he told me what was needed. They set up the workshop.
Crimps? You're telling me this Eric?
Well, it seems so. I was giving the recruiters some of the coins to do it.
Where can I find the recruiting gang?
That's tricky. It was my friends who led me to them. We met with them in the woods next to Sasau.
You said you gave them money. Where was that?
They'd ride to the mine gallery to see me. I don't suppose you'd find...
This Eric, you reckon he's not...
He puts on airs, but he's just a naive young pup. And he's always going on about his lord.
Where can I find this Eric?
He used to come to the workshop unannounced. And after what's happened, I doubt...
This highly placed person at the monastery, what can you...
I've no idea who he is, only that he's no small fry. After all, he...
I see.
No, he was supposed to supply me with...
That'll do me for the...
Will you put in a word for me with Sir Radzig? Huh?
I can try, but I can't promise you.
Hi. Eksportem.
Henry, I'm glad you came.
Również.
What have you learned?
All sorts of things. There's some foreigner called Eric behind the counter at the table, and someone highly placed at the monastery.
The monastery? Really?
That's...
So it's worse than I thought. If this is true, we'll have to proceed with the utmost caution.
Dzięki za oglądanie odcinka.
Can't we just go to the monastery?
Mam nadzieję, że się podobał. Załapkujcie, napiszcie komentarz. Do zobaczenia na streamie lub w kolejnym odcinku. Cześć, cześć.